welcome back. If you're new here, this is my third city on my 5-country week-long trip as I continue my quest to visit every European capital city. So if you haven't seen my previous videos from Vienna and Bratislava, make sure to check those out first. For this part of the journey, I took the train from Bratislava and arrived in Budapest at about 2:30 in the afternoon. Since it was October, I was very aware that I didn't have a huge amount of daylight left, so I very quickly checked into my hotel and then headed straight back out to begin exploring. My very first stop was the magical Vajdahunyad Castle. It looks ancient, but this beautiful building was actually created in 1896 for Hungary's Millennium celebration. Since the castle closes at 5 p.m. and it had already gone 4 by the time I arrived, I unfortunately didn't go inside, but I certainly enjoyed a beautiful, quiet walk around the incredible exterior. From there, I briefly stopped at Hősök, or Heroes Square. This square is dominated by the Millennium Monument, which commemorates the most foundational moment in Hungarian history, the 1000th anniversary of the Magyar conquest. The central column features the Archangel Gabriel, and surrounding him are the bronze statues of the 7 chieftains who led the Magyar tribes into the Carpathian Basin in the year 895. They are the symbolic founders of the nation, and it's a huge, incredibly important landmark. Next, I slipped into the magnificent State Opera House. This building, which opened in 1884, was another jewel in the crown of the Austro-Hungarian era. Great news is that you're allowed inside free of charge to walk the corridors and admire the beauty of the building. During my visit, there was a performance of Turandot taking place, so some areas were off limits, but it was lovely to pause and hear those professional opera singers whilst inside. I decided to walk down towards the Hungarian Parliament building, and as I made my way towards the Danube, I was treated to this absolutely magnificent sunset. I spent some time just wandering along the riverbanks and taking in all of the incredible light and colours that the sunset was creating. The Hungarian Parliament building took 17 years to complete and was finally finished in 1904. It's incredibly massive, containing nearly 700 rooms, and it was deliberately built to be the largest building in Hungary at the time, clearly symbolising the newly unified nation's independence and status. The next morning, I made a commitment to start early and take in the castle district before the crowds hit. This area, perched high on the Buda side, was the historical kernel of the city for centuries. I also got to appreciate the incredible architecture of Matthias Church, famous for its colourful tiled roof. While its official name is the Church of Our Lady, it was popularly named after the beloved 15th century King Matthias, who sponsored much of its magnificent rebuilding. Right next to the church is the stunning Fisherman's Bastion. This isn't actually a medieval fort, but a spectacular viewing terrace that was built between 1895 and 1902 replacing a medieval wall once guarded by the local Fisherman's Guild. The 7 ornamental towers are highly symbolic, representing the 7 Magyar chieftains who founded Hungary, which is a fantastic tie-in to the monument that we saw yesterday at Heroes Square. After spending the morning on Castle Hill, I headed over to Margaret Island. This large, tranquil green space is named after St Margaret, and what was supposed to be a quick stop turned into a 2-hour exploration. I'd had a couple of bad experiences when I first arrived in Budapest, and I was still very overstimulated and, to be honest, in a bit of a bad mood. So this provided me with the perfect spot to recharge my batteries. Whilst the island did provide some much needed peace and quiet, there is also quite a lot to see and do on here, including the musical fountain, a free zoo, the water tower, and the ruins of the Dominican convent. I ended up having some lunch whilst sitting in the beautiful Japanese garden and shook off the last of the fatigue from the previous 4 days' worth of travel. I spent the afternoon in the House of Terror Museum, which is an incredibly significant building because it served as the headquarters for both the Arrow Cross Party during the Nazi occupation and later for the communist-era secret police. It's a powerful and extremely well laid out museum and also serves as a moving memorial to those killed under occupation. I didn't feel it was appropriate to film here. Instead, I encourage you to go and witness it for yourself. It is a difficult but necessary look into the past. For my second and final evening, I treated myself to a sunset cruise down the Danube. It included a free welcome drink and a free online audio guide that gives you all of the information you could possibly need about the different sites you'll see on the way. The cruise sailed past so many landmarks, including the Liberty Statue, the thermal baths, the University of Technology, and sites we've already seen, such as Parliament Building, Fisherman's Bastion, and the Buda Castle district. It was the perfect calming way to cap off my short trip, but be warned, it does get very cold when you're out on the water. And if you'd like to book this cruise for your own trip to Budapest, you can scan the QR code that's on screen or follow the link in the description. Okay, so now it's time for the costs. So getting here from Bratislava was £36.46, and I managed to save some money with my accommodation by booking a private room in a hostel. So £86 for 2 nights is significantly cheaper than if I'd have stayed in a fully fledged hotel. And as you can see, I did splurge a little bit on that river cruise, but it was worth every penny. And as usual, I kept costs low by buying my food from supermarkets and street vendors instead of eating out in restaurants. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share and comment. It really does make a huge amount of difference, especially with a channel as new as mine. And make sure you also subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And I'll be seeing you next week from Ljubljana. Bye!